Hey, what's up, YouTube family? It's your favorite black gentleman from Nebraska. Yes, there are plenty of black people here in Nebraska. I just wanted to say my opening is from, every time I'll go out of town and I'll tell people where I'm from, that's the same response I'll get. It's a universal response. It's it's a response I get from people when I tell them where I'm from, and they're just tickled. You know what I mean? They're just like, "You're from Nebraska. There's black people in Nebraska." Yeah, there's black people in Nebraska. No, we're not riding on horses. No, we're not, living in cornfields. None of that. Even though we have that here, this is very much a city just like everybody else. And within the inner city of the city of Omaha, you'll find black people, and then you'll also find scattered melanated people in other parts of the city and in some cases the state. So I just wanted to give you guys that little nugget. If I didn't tell you guys before, well, now you know. So I wasn't going to go into this until tomorrow, but it seems like YouTube they're playing games, y'all. YouTube, you drop a little content, and then I know my content fire. I know it's good. So, YouTube wants to play its little games, and I get it. Okay, that's fine. I'll let YouTube play its little games, but hopefully YouTube will stop playing and stop stop what it's doing, because I believe YouTube is I wholeheartedly believe that it's stopping my videos at so many views. I honestly believe that, because there's some of my videos I get over, it's 300-400, even sometimes 100 views, but I have that one video that I'll get like almost 2K or 1,000, and I just want people to be able to see my content because it's deserving of it. So we're going to talk about the 10 little Injuns, the 10 little Indians. I'm not going to say the N-word. I'm going to just, I'm going to just say the N-I-G-G-E-R and all that good stuff. I want to say that. I'm not going to pronounce it. But this is what I was going to give you guys tomorrow. I'm not doing nothing at work. It's really, really slow. I'm going to give it to you guys today. You know what I mean? And hopefully, YouTube cooperates and allows it to go into the algorithm, and, so people can actually see this and learn, and we can share our experiences, or we can share information in the comment section. So today's content is going to be a little lengthy. I'm not at home. I'm not reading from my laptop. I'm reading from my phone. I'm making this on my phone. Today I made the content on my laptop, so I was able to, pronounce the words, and you was able to understand me a lot better. Today I'm reading it from my phone, so it might be a little slow, might be a little, kind of somewhat hard to understand, but you will get the gist of it. So before I continue, you see what it's about. You see the name on the on the screen here. We're going to go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and get started. Many might be aware of the so-called nursery song called The 10 Little Indians. There's a lot of debate over where it derived from and who the song is originally referenced to. How did the song switch from Indian to Negro, or vice versa? Many know sure how it actually came about. See what I'm saying? All this misspellings. Many know sure how it actually came about. Yeah, okay. When you look up the 10 Little Indians, you'll be presented with Wikisource. The 10 Little Indians is an American children's counting out rhyme. It has a rude folk song index number of 12976. The term Indians in the sense refers to indigenous North American peoples, with some adaptations referring to Indians as people of sub-Saharan African ethnicity in 1868. Songwriter Septimus Winter adapted it as a song then called 10 Little Injuns for a minstrel show. So if you don't know what the minstrel show is, look at my previous content that I just made today, and you can get an understanding of what minstrel shows mean. When you look up who created the so-called original 10 Little Indians, you will be presented with Ten Little Indians is a nursery rhyme referenced in 1939 Agatha Christie novel and Then There Were None. Cover of first U.S. 1940 edition with current title for all English language versions. We are told that the 10 Little Indians is an American nursery rhyme. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indians, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little Indians, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little Indians, 10 little Indian boys, 10 little, 9 little, 8 little Indians, 7 little, 6 little, 5 little Indians, 4 little, 3 little, 2 little Indians, 1 little Indian boy. But if you listen to the lyrics closely, you'll notice they're counting out how many Indian boys they see, after which they start counting down until there were none. It's a song about genocide of the indigenous population. Which population are they referring to? Well, let's find out. Notice the name of the author, Agatha Christie. What they'll leave out is the original title of her book was 10 Little Niggers. 10 Little Niggers, Agatha Christie. Cover of first UK 1939 edition with the original title. And Then There Were None is supposedly a mystery novel by the English writer Agatha Christie. It was first published in the United Kingdom by the Collins Crime Club on 6th of November 1939 as 10 Little Niggers. After so-called 1869 minstrel song, which serves as a major plot element, the U.S. edition was released in January 1940 with the title And Then There Were None, taken from the last 5 words of the song. Successive American reprints and adaptations used that title. Though American pocketbooks, paperbacks used the title 10 Little Indians between 1964 and 1986, UK editions continued to use the original title until 1985. The book became the world's best-selling mystery novel, and with over 100 million copies sold, it became one of the best-selling books of all time. The novel has been listed as the 6th best-selling title in any language, including reference books or reference works. Interesting. When you look up where it all originally comes from, you come to countless publications that say McLaughlin Brothers, 1872, the 10 Little Niggers. McLaughlin Brothers issued its first edition of 10 Little Niggers around 1872. The extremely violent verses where individuals are killed off one by one until only one remains are based on a blackface minstrel song of the same title, which was first performed in 1869. Minstrel shows where white performers sang and danced in blackface were popular around the world during the last quarter of the 19th century. Frank J. Green, 1869. It is generally thought that this song was adapted possibly by Frank J. Green in 1869. And here's a little note at the bottom. We are unable to find any information on anyone named Frank J. Green or any photos. All we know is what so-called American historians have put out either than that he's non-existent to our knowledge beyond those first few lines put out there. Man, I love this book. I enjoy this book, guys, but the misspelling is crazy. It's so annoying. It's having me having to stop, redo things because I don't want it to sound like, I don't know how to pronounce words, but it's like the misspelling is crazy. But the information is there, so that's all that matters. So let's go ahead and get on to the next page. All right, let's go ahead and break it down. Songwriter Septimus Winter adapted it as a song, then called 10 Little Injuns for a minstrel show. But when you look at it in the bio, Septimus Winter, you get Septimus Winter, May 11th, 1827 to November 22nd, 1905, was an American songwriter of the 19th century. He used his own name and also the pseudonyms Alice Hawthorne, Percy Geyer, Mark Mason, Apsley Street, and Paul Stinton. He was also a teacher, performance, and music publisher. In his list of songs, you'll find another of Winter's best remembered songs, The 10 Little Injuns, was originally published in 1864. This was adapted, possibly by Frank J. Green, on 1868 as 10 Little Niggers, and became a standard of the blackface minstrel shows. If you search further, you can find composer, artist arranged for the guitar by Sept Winter, publisher Lee Walker, 722 Chestnut Street, publisher location Philadelphia, publication date 1868. Title and description: To Master Frank Dixie Winter, 10 Little Injuns, comic song and chorus. Sung with immense applause by Mr. E. F. Dixie, Philadelphia. Published by Sept Winter, 926 Spring Garden Street. Entered according to Act of Congress AD 1868. Sept Winter in the clerk's office of the District Court. In the clerk's office of District Court, misspelling again, for Eastern District of Pennsylvania. Why did this become referenced as an IGGRs to begin with? The image below are of Eastern Algonquin and Iroquois nations, who were historically depicted as what we come to know as the black and brown races of the Americas. Let's read the song lyrics on the next page. So from the evidence that we're coming up with, we know and understand that this song is talking about American Indians, so-called colored black Negroes of today. 10 little Injuns stand in a line, one titled home, and they were mine. 9 little Injuns swung on a gate, one tumbled off, and then they were 8. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little, 4 little, 5 little Injun boys. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little, 4 little, 5 little Injuns more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Injun boys, little Injuns. 1, 2, 3, 5 Injuns more, little Injuns. 1, 2, 3, 5 Injuns more, little Injuns. 6 little, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little, 10 little Injun boys. 6 little, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little, 10 little Injuns more. 6 little, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little, 10 little Injun boys. 6 little, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little Injuns more. 8 little Injuns never heard of heaven. 1 kicked the bucket, and then there were 7. 7 little Injuns cutting up their tricks. 1 broke his neck, and then there were 6. 6 little Injuns kicking all alive. 1 went to sleep, and then there were 5. 5 little Injuns on the cellar door. One tumbled in, and then there were 4. 4 little Injuns out upon a spree. 1 dead drunk, and then there were 3. 3 little Injuns out on a canoe. 1 tumbled overboard, and then there were 2. 2 little Injuns fooling with a gun. 1 shot the other, and there was none. 1 little Injun living all alone. He got married, and there was none. This little Injuns with his little wife lived in a wigwam the balance of his life. 1 daddy Injun and a mommy squaw brought up a family of 10 Injuns more. When you break down the last verse, you can get a sense of the nations they're implying to. As mentioned in earlier chapters, squaw is an Algonquin word derived from the Narragansett, which simply means wife, later becoming known as Indian wife to European settlers, later becoming a so-called derogatory word since everyone assumes it was a word created by so-called whites as an insult. But it originally is a Algonquin dialect. European settlers used it in times as identifiers or to reference to an Indian woman would marry a white male, later becoming equal to the word whore in the Western world. This song is about the Eastern Algonquin nations. The newly settled immigrants wanted to wipe out through various means, even the use of entertainment, to start telling their story the way they see fit. So, the jury is out, in my opinion. This is just more evidence, man, that goes to the indigenous American Indians being the so-called Negro, black, colored, whatever you want to call it, people of color. Am I saying every single black person is an Indian, American Indian? No, because there were black Europeans that came from Europe here in the 1700s and 1800s, I believe. There was also black Europeans that worked as what do you call it? What do they work as? They came over here with white white people as well. There were black Europeans and white Europeans that came over here as indentured servants. There you go, indentured servants, guys. Sorry about that. I had a little brain fart. But yeah, there were white and black indentured servants that came over here from Europe. So I'm not saying that every single black person is an American Indian. But I will say that these nations, these black nations, these Algonquin or American Indian nations did exist. They're still here. And they're named, or they are what we call the Negro. So that goes to what I believe. You guys enjoyed this information. I hope YouTube actually does me a favor and just puts it in the algorithm so more people to see, because ultimately that's what I want. So it's your favorite black guy from Nebraska. It's your favorite melanated gentleman from Nebraska. Please like, share, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. Okay. It was a double drop today. So if you're checking this one out, please check out the one I dropped earlier today. All right. Peace. God bless.